Can we talk about buzzwords? This has been such a trendy thing in Booktube for like the last 5 years. Doing videos on buzzwords, talking about buzzwords, using the term buzzwords. So I thought it was time. Last year, I think it was last year, or was it the year before? I made a video talking about the things that I like in books and also the things that I don't like in books. So I will leave those two videos linked somewhere in the cards down below, something. And those videos focus more on like tropes and storyline, plot line, that kind of thing. This is going to be buzzwords, so just the word itself. Typically, this is referring to like this word in the book title, but if at any point in the description on the back of the book or in the blurbs that you hear online or whatever, if this word is mentioned, it piques your interest. Let's go through, I have a list of buzzwords and I want to go through them to see which ones I would consider buzzwords for me. Lost. Yeah, I think so, because I do like when someone is lost or something is lost and the purpose of the book is to try to find that thing or that person, or else the main character has to like make themselves found if they themselves are a missing person, you know, that whole lost and found dynamic. I do like that. So if your book has lost in the title, it will probably pique my interest and I'm gonna wanna read a little bit more to see if it's gonna be a book for me. Time. I'm going to say time is a buzzword for me if it is fantasy or sci-fi. If it's more contemporary or historical, I'm not saying it's an anti-buzzword, I'm just saying it doesn't really, I'm not gonna notice it. But if it's on a fantasy or sci-fi, I'll probably notice it and be intrigued. Moon. I think it might be a soft buzzword for me, if we can use that term. I just feel like moon kind of is a moody, it gives a moody vibe. You know, it sets a little bit of a dark atmosphere because it's at night with the light of the moon. I don't know. It does feel intriguing. And even if it's like, I don't know, I do think I like it. Remember or memory? That's going to lead me into somewhere. So I don't really think remember or memory are buzzwords for me. But if you're going to use the amnesia trope, but now we're talking about tropes again. But I mean, if the word amnesia is written in the blurb, or can't remember, or doesn't know who he is, or whatever, it's a little bit more on the trope side, and I'm trying to stay onto the word side, but I do like that concept in storytelling when someone can't remember something and they have to, I don't know, remember somehow. But if it's more in like the general definition of remember or memory, then I'm not as intrigued. Again, it's not an anti-buzzword, it's just a word. I like the concept of having secret in the title or in your little blurb or as a big part of your story, but I just feel like it's not uncommon anymore. It's not unusual. It's very hard to make secret a special storyline element because it's so used, so done. I don't know. I will say, I have one here. When I was a teenager, I only read historical romance, and I loved, which sounds really weird, but I loved the widow trope. Can't say I agree with myself anymore because that is not a buzzword for me, but yeah, interesting. Now, crown. I really do, and this is again, kind of maybe back to the secret conversation I was having where it's not really unique anymore. I don't think crown or like using royalty or royal words is unique, but for me, it is still a buzzword. If there's royalty in the story, in the title, whatever, any kind of connotation to royalty, I am interested. So tell me more. Clown or circus or fair or like amusement park or festival. Festival's a little bit different, but any kind of those words, I'm interested. Yeah. Those, I think, are fantastic settings for stories, and they can be fantastic. That's so funny. They can be fantastic settings for any genre. Yeah, I like it. And clowns don't really scare me, so. Again, the forget or forgotten, that's hearkening back to what I was saying before. I do like that. Dream. Okay, again, dream is a buzzword for me if it's literal. If it's talking about a literal dream, either you can go into your dreams, or there's something wrong with your dreams, or something to do with the actual dreams you have when you're sleeping, or maybe you have waking dreams, but not just like, oh, you're my dream come true, or not like in the metaphorical sense of a dream, you know? I like the literal sense of a dream. Bone. Yeah, I think so. I think if bone is in the title, it's already setting up the story to me. Maybe like obviously not the plot or anything like that, but just the vibe of it. Like, I would say mostly I'm thinking fantasy. You could go in like a thriller or horror direction, in which case I'm not interested. But I'm not interested in that genre anyway. Not the horror genre. I do like thriller genre. But that would take it more in like in the murderous direction. Whereas dream in bone in like a fantastical direction makes me think more magical for some reason. I don't know, but I do like it. Shadow. Yeah, shadow I can see being a buzzword for me. Like, it's mysterious. There's something you have to uncover. There's something that's not what it seems. Yeah, I like shadow. Shadow's a good one. Shadow will have me interested. Okay, where were we? I had to change my memory card. So we had finished talking about shadow, and I think another one would be game, or some kind of game. I don't know, if there's some kind of game being played, I find that interesting. Whether it's a high stakes game or a little bit lower stakes game, whether it's a game you're playing with other people or a game you have to immerse yourself in, like some kind of game, you know. That will be, yeah, that will sit higher on my buzzword list. Another one I will say is maybe, well, for sure, retelling. Retelling is a huge buzzword for me. I love retellings. I really love reading a story that I've already consumed and loved and seeing it through a different lens and seeing what a different author will do with the same plot points and story beats and stuff. So I do really, really like retellings. In addition to that, I will say if there's something that connects the book to an already loved story, and that doesn't always mean a retelling. So like if your main character is a detective and on the cover his name is Holmes or something, I'm interested. There's no reason. It doesn't really make sense because if I don't know the author, I don't know what's going on in the story, why am I even interested? But because I know that Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes, is part of the inspiration for the story, I'm interested. So the same goes for like anything Tolkien or Middle Earth. If any of his words are associated with it, or Alice in Wonderland. I love Alice in Wonderland, so if there's anything connecting to like Wonderland, that's a big one for me. So I do think those kind of niche words are buzzwords for me as well. And I guess for retelling, that's not only like fairy tales, that can be folk tales, that can be even a retelling of something a little bit more modern. Like, what can I give as an example of something a bit more modern? I don't know. I can't think of any examples, but okay, if there's some kind of bookish connotation, like if the character is an author, or the main character's obsessed with books, or they're a librarian, or maybe it's a fantasy and they jump into a book, or something bookish, they're saving a bookstore, whatever. If there's something bookish connected to the story, I'm interested to know more. Ooh, thief or heist. Yes. Those ones are buzzwords for me as well. I do like to watch a good plan unfold. I don't need to be there to read the plan as you're planning it, but I want to see how it unfolds and if you are a success or a failure. So I do like the thief slash heist. Dragons, yes. I don't really think you can go too wrong with dragons. Unless I just haven't come across them. So dragons are a yes. I mean, you're gonna find them in so many fantasy that I'm gonna need more information to know if I'm interested in the book, because just saying dragons, that's like 80% of fantasy. So yeah, I do love a good dragon, but I'm gonna need more still. Gothic, but again, Gothic is more of a vibe. I don't even know if it would be, is it a genre? Yeah, Gothic would be a genre, right? So yeah, that's not what we're talking about today, but I don't think this would be considered a buzzword, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway because I want to talk about it. If there is an older character, whether this person's the main character or a supporting character, but like a solid character in the story, an older person, I'm interested. Because you just don't see that quite as often, and I think people need to write more older characters. Ooh, guys, I just saw a tag on YouTube here that has to do with buzzwords from Lizzie Faye Loves Books. Oh, sweet. Okay. Huh. I might have to do this tag, guys. Watch out for this tag. Yeah. I'm just trying to get some inspiration online, and I'm thinking maybe exile could be an intriguing one for me. It might have me asking more questions, which is a good thing for people to do when they see your book, is you want them to have questions and want to know more. So who's exiled? Am I going to be supporting the person who's exiled, or is this person a bad person? Is this the villain? How does the story play out? So again, I think this is a trope, but if I see it in the description, I'm interested. So that would be a marriage of convenience, arranged marriage, choose your pick. Anything like that, I'm interested, because I want to know how it's going to play out. If you're going to hold fast to that vow that you made before the love was there, or are you going to bail? Yes, those kind of love stories, I guess. They're not necessarily all love stories, but yeah. So I can't really think of any more. I thought there would be a lot more, I don't know, more resources online for like lists of buzzwords. I couldn't really find much for that, so I think this covers quite a bit of what I do like. I mean, map is a good one, but it doesn't give a lot. You still have to like Could be any genre. What are we talking about? I don't know. It's not an automatic. Oh, mermaid. Yeah, mermaid. I love mermaids. Or shark. Shark. I have read a shark book based on the fact that shark was in the title. So, I didn't know anything else about it. So I guess you could call that a buzzword. It's not, again, not really a buzzword, but I guess if it's something that doesn't really make sense in our literal world. Like, for example, the 7 deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Well, how can you possibly die 7 times? So now I'm asking questions. That would definitely be one, I would say. Again, it's not really a buzzword. I keep changing the rules on this video. But steampunk. It's more of a setting. I don't know if you could call it a genre. I kind of don't think so. But yeah, the steampunk vibe, I'm here for that. I'm interested. So there's that. I can't really find any other ones. We're gonna call that a pretty decent list of my buzzwords that that catch my eye in book titles or book descriptions. Let me know in the comments below some of your buzzwords. I really want to do an anti-buzzword video as well. I think that could be interesting. I have a couple right off the top of my head that pop in. So yeah, I would like to do another video similar to this. So I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely go check out my video where I talk about just the generic things in books that I like. Then you'll probably get a pretty good sense of what kind of stories I like. And I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!